Hello there, this is David from David Books and Comics, and today we're looking at Crown, three novels by Terry Harknett, writing under his own name. And Terry Harknett is the same writer who gave us the Edge series, writing as George G. Gilman. So I'll tell you about this Crown series. The series first appeared in the UK, in England in 1974. Published originally by Futura Books by the prolific former journalist who later turned to writing, Terry Harknett. The series was well crafted, well written. It features two main protagonists who worked for the Royal Hong Kong Police Force. In the first novel, that's The Sweet and Sour Kill, we are introduced to Chang Po, the other lead protagonist, who comes back from the city of San Francisco to find that his beloved parents have been brutally assaulted and eventually killed by a band of ruthless young punks. The other main character is John Crown. Crown shares the lead in this novel, in the novels. He sports a ruggedly handsome exterior with an equally rugged and hard-boiled personality. Chang Po is a bit reminiscent of the Kung Fu Mace series, which I showed earlier on. Unlike Mace, Chang Po seems to appear a little more human. The Crown series are fun reads. They're about 150 pages long, so they're quick, fast-paced plots and equally fast and brutal action, coupled with elements that one usually finds in the mystery novels. The series also comes close to capture the flavor of Hong Kong action films set in the current times. The series is reminiscent of Tsui Hark's A Better Tomorrow, which is really a modern Jang Yu or underworld film, with all the typical elements that one would find in a fine martial arts film. So there you go. So I'll let you see through the books. It's Futura Books. And here you have a nice action pose with Chang Po and John Crown on the covers. And it's set in Hong Kong. Hong Kong's ace crime busters star in the first of a brand new bullet-paced thriller series. So it tells you about Terry Harknett. Terry Harknett was born in Essex, the son of a truck driver. He left school at 15 and worked as a copy boy in a Fleet Street news agency, later becoming a features writer for an international syndicate. After 2 years in the national service in the RAF, he returned to Fleet Street, first to the news agency and then to a syndicate. Then for a short time, he joined the exploitation department of a film company, leaving to work for a news agency trade journal where he became features editor. Having written short stories and books in his spare time since the age of 15, he then turned to writing full-time. His first book was published in 1962. Since then, notice it says when. Since then, he has published some 30 books, both under his own name and under pseudonyms. There you go. So it's a lot more than 30 books, as we know, from going through the Edge series. So this is Crown, Terry Harknett. Then we see the publication date. All right, so 1974. And this is the back of the books. East meets West, Hong Kong. And it talks about an American mob back with mafia money and Chief Superintendent John Crown. Okay, so there you go. And this is another one of my favorite covers. It's called Macau Mayhem. And there you see John Crown on the cover and Chang Po in the background. And there you go. Far Out, Far East. This is the second book in the series. This one published 1974. All right. This is Macau Mayhem. Macau, not a part of Crown's colony, but bloody and violent trail led there. So that's where Crown and Chang left, or went, in the tracks of a girl who knew too much, enough to make her another victim, unless she traded her secrets for protection instead of money. Interesting. Yeah, Macau was at the time, a colony of Portugal. And of course, Hong Kong was part of Great Britain. All right, so that's that one. And then there's the Bamboo Shootout. There you go. Nice. Futura books, I like their very tight binding, easy reads, and easy to flip through the books. And this is my favorite of the Crown covers. All right, so that's that one. And this one, 1975. These are all world firsts. Eventually, Pinnacle Books also published the Crown series. And I think they published, I haven't seen the other two books, but I have seen the Sweet and Sour Kill. That's about the only one I think they published. Also from Futura Books is this series. It's called the Sloane Kung Fu series, as written by Steve Lee. Steve Lee is possibly, I'm not sure, Terry Harknett. Anyway, this one was published in 1974. This is the reprint from 1975. But originally published in 1974. That's the copyright. And it's called Sloane. This is a near mint copy. And so swift as a cobra, sharp as a lynx, silent as a panther, deadlier with his hands and feet than most men with a gun, Sloane. When a gang of outlaws, masquerading as a traveling circus, massacred Sloane's parents, he was adopted by Chung Feng, one-time fighting instructor to a Chinese warlord, master of the lethal martial arts of Kung Fu. A man who equipped Sloane with an odyssey of revenge. A mission to track and kill his parents' murderers, professionals whose skill with knife, gun, and bullwhip were legend in the West. One man against seven. It is a revenge story. Again, it's about 150 pages long, as you see there. So, nice cover. Just a classic cover. And this is the second book in the series. And this is the world first. This is 1974 copyright. And there were only 2 books published. Pinnacle also published this series. This is the Pinnacle version of number 2, A Fistful of Hate. And there you go. The most violent and exciting Kung Fu Western ever written, from the publishers of The Executioner, The Destroyer, and Edge. So there you go. See what it says here on the publication date. Yeah, so first printing from Pinnacle is 1975. So anyway, so a little more about Sloane. I'll leave that one aside. Maybe just move it this way. Like I said, Sloane is possibly Terry Harknett. It has all the trademarks of a Harknett novel. So this series can be seen as a violent version of David Carradine's portrayal in the TV series Kung Fu. The adventures of Todd Sloane open up with brutal and graphic slaughter of his family by a strange band of hoodlums masquerading as a traveling circus. Todd Sloane is the only one to survive. He was left for dead by the hoodlums, but unbeknownst to them, he was alive. A traveling Chinaman named Chung Feng found him and nursed him back to health using herbs and acupuncture. Eventually, Sloane regains his health, and the old Chinese person manages to teach him the martial art of Kung Fu. The two adventures of Sloane are thoughtful and well crafted. Sloane quickly masters the martial art of Kung Fu, but he also develops, as many of the other characters in the series mentioned here, the Oriental sense of honor, with the all encompassing need to take revenge for the violation that was done to his family. So there you go. So that's two series, originally published by Futuri Books, and again picked up by Pinnacle, the men's action adventure paperback publisher. So I hope you enjoyed this little look at this two very short-lived series based on the popularity of the martial arts and kung fu movies that were prevalent back in the early to mid 70s. All started with first Lo Lee's Five Fingers of Death, and then Bruce Lee's two initial films, The Chinese Connection and Fists of Fury. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this little presentation. And if you did, give me that like, and thanks everyone for your subscriptions and comment. It always helps the channel. Thanks. Bye.